Am I the jerk to insist on calling my aunt mother and to say that it doesn't depend on my mother's permission? I am not OOP. OOP is you/C lifeguard 4311 originally posted to her/A. Am I the jerk? Am I the jerk to insist on calling my aunt mother and to say that it doesn't depend on my mother's permission? Trigger warnings, child neglect, medical issues. Original post, May 4, 2026. My older sister was very ill since our childhood. She was born with a congenital heart condition, and although she managed with medication in her early years, she was placed on the transplant list when she was 8 years old. I was 4 at the time, but I still remember a little of how difficult that process was for our family. My mother and father were naturally mostly by my sister's side, and I have no resentment or bitterness towards them for that. It had to be that way. But while they were busy with my sister, my aunt looked after us, me and older brother, and we even lived with her from time to time. And she was a wonderful aunt. She did everything she could to make up for the absence of our mother. She put so much effort into raising us, and she's a really good, very motherly woman. Honestly, she became a second mother to me, and I still call her mom sometimes. After about 10 years old, I reduced this and learned to mostly call her aunt, saving the word mom for special occasions or when we were alone together, when I felt one of us needed it. Because I knew it was considered strange for a child to call two people mom, and my mother didn't like it at all. But as I said, I didn't stop completely. I couldn't. I can't say I consciously hide the fact that I sometimes still call her mom, but I guess my mother didn't know, or she must have thought I'd already stopped, because my aunt had surgery on Friday, and when she woke up from anesthesia, I unconsciously called her mom, which surprised her greatly. She said she couldn't believe I still did it and that it was very unhealthy. Besides it being very unhealthy for me and requiring therapy, she said it was also hurting my aunt because she has a deceased child, and I was reminding her of her loss. But I asked her about this before, and she said that wasn't the case at all, that she was very happy, and I believe her. Her eyes light up every time I call her mom. She explained that I could get therapy for it if I wanted, but she wouldn't allow me to call my aunt mom again, and frankly, I got a little angry at that. I told her that she couldn't allow it anyway because it wasn't something that depended on her permission. I said I would address my aunt however I wanted. I mentioned it. As you can imagine, she's very surprised and angry. But so am I. What nonsense is this? My aunt looked after us for years. She deserves this title, I know she wants it, and I feel comfortable giving it to her, so what's the problem? My brother is on my side, but my sister is very attached to my mother and tells me I'm being unfair to her. Whereas I think the real injustice is my mother interfering in my relationship with my aunt and taking away a term of endearment that makes us both feel comfortable. Am I wrong or jerk? Editor's note, OOP did not leave any comments here in the original post. Top comments. Commenter 1, not the asshole. Love isn't a limited title. Your aunt earned mom the hard way. Commenter 2, you mom is jealous and will break the family if she continues. It's not surprising the one child your mother actually mothered takes her side. Commenter 3, if your aunt is happy and you're comfortable, that's kinda the end of it and nobody else gets veto power. Commenter 4, it's funny her mother wants the original poster to go to therapy, when it's the original poster's mother who should be going to therapy. The original poster didn't call her aunt mom to hurt her mom or out of anger. Her mom doesn't get to gatekeep the term of endearment. NTJ update, May 6, 2026, 2 days later, update, am I the jerk because I insisted on calling my aunt mom and stated that she couldn't interfere with that? Yes, I read the comments, gave myself some time to calm down and think, and here I am. First of all, thank you everyone. These comments reminded me that I am completely free to address my aunt however I want and that I haven't done anything wrong, and they also helped me understand my mother better. I hadn't really thought about why my mother reacted that way, because it seemed selfish and inappropriate to me that she reacted like that while my aunt had just had surgery. I guess that's why I didn't question it much. I realized this after reading the comments. And thinking about it, yes, it seems quite clear that it probably stems from guilt. I sat my mother down and we talked. I openly asked her why it bothered her so much that I called my aunt mother, and it quickly became clear that she saw it as an insult. I told her that this was completely unrelated to my relationship with her, it stemmed from the nature of my relationship with my aunt, not the nature of my relationship with her. She admitted that she couldn't understand this, and yes, she still feels a lot of guilt about it, which surprised me because I don't feel any resentment or anger towards my mother or father now, really, truly. It was a very difficult time, and everyone did their best, that's really how it had to be at the time. My parents couldn't do anything either. But I think I understand why my mother feels that way because, of course, there were times when I didn't see it or was angry at them as a child, I can't lie. But I let go of that a long time ago. My sister had to have a second heart transplant when I was 16, and I can honestly say that's exactly why all my resentment melted away. I was old enough then to see and understand everything. I clearly saw how much care and effort my sister's condition required, how impossible it was to keep up with everything. And witnessing and feeling firsthand how difficult and hopeless everything was, all my resentment melted away. It was a terrible situation for everyone, and there was nothing anyone could do. Since then, I haven't felt those old remnants of resentment towards my parents that I sometimes felt during my childhood and adolescence. Since then, I've responded more to my parents' efforts. I can't say I always responded to their attempts at closeness or reconciliation before this event. I wasn't rude, I wasn't overly distant, but I know I always made them feel a distance they couldn't overcome with me, and our relationship quickly evolved for the better. So I thought my mother had overcome it too, like me, but I guess I was wrong. Honestly, years have passed. Maybe it's normal for her to feel that way because I haven't quite reached that point yet until a few years ago. Maybe I should have considered it. But I really don't feel that way anymore. I told my mother all of this, and I think she was so relieved, she almost cried and she kept thanking me. However, she said that even though our relationship has improved so much in recent years, she still feels incomplete because I was closer to my aunt for a large part of my life. I can't deny that I kept my distance until I was 16. She said she wanted to spend more time with her, etc. I promised that we would try harder to make up for it, and we also talked about the idea of her going to therapy, not for me. Well, I have to admit that the irony made me laugh. And yes, I will, of course, continue to call my aunt Mom. I told my mother that my aunt deserved it, that that's how I feel and that I'll continue to call her that. It's her responsibility to deal with it and she'll work on it. Thank you everyone. Editor's note, OOP didn't leave any comments here in the update. Top comments. Commenter 1, it's really nice when there's an update where everyone has handled the situation with communication like mature adults. Commenter 2, very good outcome. I'm glad you suggested therapy for her. She is the one carrying baggage and she needs to get through it. Smooth sailing. The original poster. Commenter 3, what a great conversation to have with your mom. You won't make up for lost time, but you can certainly build on your relationship now. Maturity goes a long way. Do not comment in linked posts or message OOPs. Bo, are you? Rule number 7. This is a repost sub. I am not OOP.